Hi there and welcome. These are some handover videos showing how to set up and operate your Swift Challenger 645. It's a basic walkthrough on how to set up and operate if you were coming on or off site. So starting off first, we have your black hitch head here with black lever, which you have to have pulled up to be able to wind down the jockey wheel onto the tow ball. What will happen, it will snap down, push up that red button and expose a green ring. You have your handbrake here, which you just engage and disengage by pressing up and down. Do make sure though that you don't have your head in the way whilst you're flicking it up, as they can come up with quite a lot of velocity. This is the aforementioned jockey wheel used to level the caravan, and then you have this handle here to be able to pull it up whilst travelling. The caravan is with 13-pin electric, so if you do have 7-pin adaptation on your tow vehicle, make sure to bring an adapter. 2 points either side and 2 points at the back, you have inserts for your legs. The caravan itself comes with a leg winder, or you can get yourself a 19mm drill bit and a power drill just to make it that bit quicker. Do not attempt to jack up or level the caravan using your legs, they're simply used for stabilisation. Level first using the jockey wheel and put down all 4 quarter steadies. Now we're using our test equipment today here, so I have a red propane gas bottle with an in-date gas hose situated on it. Black gas hoses run for 5 years, so this one's dated 2025, so it'll take me up to 2030. That connects on to the regulator just here, so you can hand tighten that as much as you possibly can and then just nip it up using the spanner. You don't want it ridiculously tight, as that puts pressure on the washer inside of the gas hose, meaning that it can crack, causing a gas leak. Once both sides are firmly connected though, twist the gas bottle in the positive or open direction, and then gas is being fed through into the van. Coming along this side, first up we have your flue. Your flue is used to get clean air in and out of your flue. Your flue is used to get clean air in and out of your boiler when operating on gas. Don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice, clean and tidy. Next to it, we have your water input. Now with regards to this, got my pump just here. To insert, just press in nice and easy, and to remove, press hit the trigger and pull out just like so. Now you see you have this blue cap to go over the top of the anchor roll to make sure no nastiness gets in, and then at the bottom we have your strainer. That's crucial that the strainer sits at the bottom of the barrel to allow the maximum potential of water to come through. As you can see though, they do have a bit of a tendency to curl up, so my recommendation is getting some PVC tubing or something similar so it's always straight rather than having to straighten it out every time. Next to it we have your battery locker. Situated here is a leisure battery. Now you'll either need the 12 or 13mm spanner to be able to actually draw the power through on the terminals. You have your plug in for your mains here, and then a little cutout to be able to shut it up. Just here we have 2 points where your wastewater is going to come out of. You need some 28.5mm waste pipe to then feed into a waste master that you can empty out at the appropriate point. Then lastly, we have your cassette toilet for the outside. To remove it, press up on the orange handle and pull out towards you. Now this orange handle as well does pull out and up, so it can be used similar to a carry-on suitcase. To empty this, twist this head to the side, open up the cap, then what you want to do is tilt, and at the same time as tilting, continually pressing your vent button. You can see here that I've put in some fresh water, which you can open up this compartment and feed it in. Give it a bit of a shake so it does smell a bit nicer. Then on your cap just here you have measurements in both imperial and metric. That's for your blue chemical. Blue chemical goes into there, back onto that compartment, twist it to the side, push it in, so the orange handle sits behind those white teeth, as it then cannot be removed. Then on this top part we have your flush tank. Flush tank has a capacity to hold 12 litres of water, however I wouldn't recommend putting in any more than 10 as you don't want to overfill the compartment. You can also add a bit of pink chemical which works as a bleach without being corrosive and makes it smell a bit nicer. Now you don't want to travel with either of these two full, so just up here got a little bung to drain off any remaining water. The caravan itself will be fully drained off before you collect it. Then just on the right hand side front lounge you have all of this here, so I wouldn't recommend storing anything under here. You can lift up that panel to get access to the boiler if you need so, and then you have your flow jets just here which pull through the water into the boiler itself. That is done through the series of blue leads just here, which lead also to this yellow switch valve. That switch valve is your drain valve. When it's in the upright position as it is now, that is allowing the flow, oh no, sorry, it is in drain mode essentially. If I were to flick this over like so, or even like so, that is allowing water to come through. However, vertically, that means that the water is being drained out, and that is how you will also collect the caravan. November to March, have that up permanently unless you're actively using the caravan, and any time that you're finished up in the caravan, make sure you give it a drain off, as any frost damage that is caused by it is classified as user error, so it isn't covered under SWIFTs or any extended warranties as well. Then this black box here is like the brain box for your motor mover. You have this silver box on the side which is your battery charger. Then on the top we have your trips and your fuses. Now I'd always recommend carrying some extra fuses inside the caravan as well, just in case one goes. Then you can see heating and hot water and charger are both illuminated, showing that they're both working. Reverse polarity button there if you ever go abroad, and a complete system shutdown button. Pressing that button and nothing inside the caravan is able to operate. If you need any more information on your trips and fuses, you can pull down this panel. It tells you a bit more. Then just here we have your Swift command panel. So you have a series of buttons just here. First up you have your pump button. Now if I was running water through today, what I would do is I would press that pump button, a border would appear around the icon. I'd wait 2 to 3 minutes to allow the water to come through, come over to my tap, check it on both hot and cold, and what you're looking for is a nice steady continuous stream. Let the water run for around 30 seconds and it should get to that nice stream. Maybe in case you get the odd cough and splutter to start off with, that's just because the system is quite pressurized, so it's just drawing through the air that doesn't need to be there. However, if there are any problems, double check, make sure your strainer's at the bottom of the barrel, you have your drain valve in the correct position, and you've got plenty of water in your barrel. Now this is all touchscreen from here, so you press in on awning light, yellow border appears, come outside and check, and you can see your awning light is on just there. Next we have lighting. So I have these individual lights on at the moment. However, if I press first on here, you can see I get the lights at the front, and I press again for the other one, I get the lights at the back. And then you can see as well, I can press down and dim the lights. So I'm going to show you what it looks like at its darkest. So that's 5, and then this is going back up to 100. And then to turn them off, press in the middle themselves. These other lights you have to individually switch off. Back to home, we then have power. So this shows the amount of power coming in. So it says right now 14.1 volts are coming from the leisure battery. I have mains plugged in at the moment, so that's a representative of the amount coming from mains. Then shows the amount from solar. It's a bit miserable today, so it's not going to draw much through. It's always going to show a little bit coming from vehicle, but that's just natural. Then you have the amount of AC current, and it allows you to set a limit for the amount coming in. You then have settings, so press in on the cog and it gives you some general settings. So time, day, date, screen brightness, screen timeout, night mode, key beep, so when you press in a button it will beep, e.g. and then Bluetooth pairings as well. Now you can get to some additional settings by pressing and holding in on the cog for a few seconds, and you can see here it shows a couple more options. Now I won't recommend playing about with any of this, just because we have set it to what we believe is the most user friendly to use. especially not adding the fridge or heater element to it. It does allow you to use your outer wet central heating in your fridge via this panel, but it can short circuit it occasionally and leads to trips going as well. So I wouldn't recommend having them on in the slightest. Lastly, we have radio. So you have different modes: off, FM, DAB, aux, and then it should be in this locker you have your Sargent radio module with a plug-in for the aux or off. Now you can also connect via Bluetooth, and then it works same as any sort of radio. You've got your tuning, you've got your scans, set your presets and your volume. So that is the panel here for the command panel, and then next to it we have your outer wet central heating. So this is for your heating and hot water. So press in on menu. This is the home screen right now. It tells you the current internal temperature is 8 degrees. Then we have what it's previous set to. So first row, thermometer in the house, is the temperature that you would like the caravan to be. So it goes up to a maximum of 30. You can go down and up by 0.5. Goes down to a minimum of 5 degrees. Whatever you set it to, it will get to that temperature. It's not an instantaneous thing, and it does depend on a few variables such as outside temperature and where you are. So it goes up to a maximum of 30. Next up, we have that shower icon. So the shower icon is for the hot water. It's currently off. Put it midway and that will get the water temperature to about 40 degrees. However, put it full and that is a boost setting. It will boost the hot water for 30 minutes, prioritizing it over the heating of the van. It will get the water temperature to around about 60 degrees. After those 30 minutes, it will then drop down to midway again. So ideal when you first come to use it. Then we have your 2 energy sources. So we either have 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts of mains capacity. Now do be aware that some sites do not have 3 kilowatt capacity. I can use gas or I can use a mixture. Then I press that cog, gives me some additional settings. Not going to run through these as we have set it again to what we believe is the most user friendly. However, if you'd like to have a look inside your book packs to see what they represent, please do so. Now both of these screens will naturally fade off after a timer of around about 5 minutes. However, if you want to make sure that this is completely off, press in, comes up as off, no more green light. And just here we have your toilet capacity. So lift up the lid, press in this button, and you can hear that motor. That motor is what will push around any water inside the system. To remove the waste, press away on the handle, opens up the cassette, pull it back towards you, and it shuts up the cassette. You need to have it that way to be able to remove the actual cassette from its holder. And when the cassette is full, there'll be a red light under that icon there to tell you to go and empty. Then just here we have your hob grill and oven. Now all of this operates on gas minus the electric plate. For the electric plate, just spin it to whatever gas mark and it will get to temperature. Everything else, press in on the dial, twist it to the side and press the igniter. Now it may be a case that this will light up and then shut off when you first come to use it. That's just the gas making its way through its system. This is what it looks like when they're all lit. As you can see, all your burners nice and lit here. Same concept for your grill. As you can see here, both sides of the grill nice and lit. Maybe a case one side will light first and then the other. And then lastly, we have your oven. And there again, oven all nice and lit as well. Only other thing to note, you can travel with your gas hose on, but make sure that the bottle is turned off. And you need to have this glass lid down whenever you do come to travel as well. But don't put it down till all of these are nice and cold. But obviously don't go touching it after you've just had it on. And just here we have your fridge operation. So open up the door and you get this panel. Press and hold in on this grey button. It will flash up and go to its most recent memory, which in this case was mains on full capacity. As you can see as well, when the fridge is on, blue light comes on. You can change what source you want using this button, and you have the choice of 3 different. You either have mains, gas, Well, that battery symbol is representative of only 13-pin electric for when you're towing it. It's not able to operate off leisure battery. So I'm going to press it once. We're going to go over to auto. Auto will choose what's the best source to use, chooses mains. I'm going to press it again. It's going to go over to the battery symbol, and you can see it begins to beep up and flash, telling you there's a hazard. So we switched over for gas. Now for gas, you'll gradually hear it tick in, and then it will stop lighting up, meaning that it is all nice and lit. You don't have to do anything with this, it will automatically do it. Then we have the amount of power, so 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. 5 being the most powerful, so it's going to chill it the quickest. However, it does naturally take 4 hours for the fridge to fully chill. Then when you don't want this on, press and hold in, turns itself off.